Hey everybody, welcome to the call. Just letting the room fill up. How we doing, everybody? We'll be getting started in just a minute as me and Maurizio actually sorting out a guest that is going to come on. And he's just going to spend a few minutes with us today. It's to do with the airdrop video that Maurizio posted in the channel. Maurizio, me and you are terribly disorganized this morning. I don't know if you could dash to the group and get the link to your airdrop video, and then
Sure.
everybody that's in the 100x.
Sure. Let me just get it while everybody's joining. Hello, guys. How you guys doing? Where is it?
Okay, everybody. So, unfortunately, Scott has got a bit of a family emergency today. My cat has also scratched up my mouse pad, so doing anything with my mouse is like pulling nasal hairs out. Yeah, so Scott's not going to be with us today. That's why me and Maurizio are here pressing buttons and getting our guest on from there.
Is Manuel around? Man, are you around?
Oh man, this
Anyway, we can definitely start, and then as he joins in, then we can just move on.
All right, great. So welcome everybody. Welcome to everybody that's watching the replay. I'll get the video editor to edit out the nonsense that went before, so you'll think that this is the normal slick Monday morning presentation. So, we'll start off with Maurizio then for the usual market overview and a rundown through our coins. If me and Maurizio have not really fucked it up, we should have a guest that's coming on a little bit later, and obviously the chat is open as well. So I'll off camera, but I'll be on mic, Maurizio.
All right, man. No worries. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure Manuel out. Apparently, he's not able to join in, but I'll just follow up with him as we go. All right, how you guys doing today? What a great weekend. Let me just share my screen and let's get this started. Give me 1 second. One sec here that I'm having a little bit of an issue here with my two screens. All right, there we go. Now we're in. All right. Awesome. Do you guys see my screen now?
We can, yeah.
Beautiful. All right. So what a great weekend. It was very interesting week last week, wasn't it? Like a lot of drops, a lot of dumps, a lot of different stuff happening. But yeah, Scott put a really good video on over the weekend about the recovery, but we'll go through a few levels and stuff like that and things that I'm seeing in terms of Bitcoin. The recovery of Bitcoin has been really great. So if we start looking at Bitcoin, let's start with Bitcoin. Because yeah, I want to show you guys some weekly candle just closed. And if you've been following all the videos, right? If you're following all the videos, we were talking about like the drop and this, the candles, how they look over on day to day, and you see the drops, you see the things more than like it was going to go to the next level. But now the weekly candle closed, and it's a completely different candle, right? So this is the thing when you actually start looking at the markets from different perspectives. It's very simple to have a look at the market on the weekly and say, oh yeah, we have this retracement and then came back and then now we're going to go in or whatever, or buying dips and stuff like that is very, very different when you do it on retrospective than when you do it live, right? As you can actually saw this week, right? I missed a couple of trades, by the way. I'm gonna go through them. But in terms of all our levels, this is the same chart. This is the same thing that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. Look at how different this candle looks now, right? Let me just pull up the chat here so I can see you guys here. Give me 1 second. Put the chat right here. Okay. Right. So look at how different this looks, right? Now we're on the weekly candle. These are the same levels. Look at how big this level now is telling us that this is support. Essentially, if it's a support, it's a lot of buying opportunities right here. People are buying at this here. Therefore, can this bottom here? More than likely, right? Now we have a higher chance that this could actually reach the new highs and could start breaking up, right? That's definitely a high possibility now. That's in the books now, right? So what we were looking during the week, which didn't look very appealing, right? Yep, we had all these dumps essentially, but as I was saying, probably this, what was this, Thursday? Yeah, Thursday, Friday was holding pretty well up to these levels. It's just how interesting how these levels hold up. And if you think about it from that perspective, then essentially we trade in long term, right? With the 100x, we looking for coins that are actually going to appreciate in value in the long term. And therefore we need to look in the higher perspective, the higher thing. So we look into, obviously we look daily, but we sort of pay attention more how the weekly closes, how the monthly closes. Yeah, I did a good video about the monthly closes as well. So and then we don't know until that thing closes, right? Look at how this actually recovered. The thing that I'm seeing here in terms of Bitcoin is that it's still not, like, it's actually breaking above these levels, and we're gonna have a look at the open interest and all that stuff and see how it is gonna hold up. But it looks pretty good, looks pretty healthy from the weekly perspective. Let me bring it up. Yeah, so you can see what a good bounce, close above here. It wouldn't be really great if you actually close above this high right there, which is, this is the highest high ever. That, you know, this line right here is the highest high that but now we created a new high, which is about here. Let me just bring that line right there, which is not a bad idea to have that level in mind. So we have that, this is the highest high that Bitcoin has ever been, ever, right? So that's an interesting range. So I think it's holding up pretty well. In terms of things that I was looking at as well, where are they? Where'd it go? All right, yeah, I was looking about the rotation, but also I'm looking at the inflows now, the Bitcoin inflows. So the Bitcoin outflows were pretty, like last week, that's probably why the dump happened. But now start seeing a recovery on the ETFs, right? Especially we did have Hong Kong ETFs happening this week. Like now they're live. Now people can actually go in and buy stuff. So obviously it takes a couple of weeks from the approval to the actual real life trading. And now institutionals can actually get into in Hong Kong, right? So that will open up all Asia, right? Especially wealthy people in Asia, especially in China, right? So I can see that the inflows are there. Obviously, this is only the US, by the way. This, we don't have any data yet. Still, the inflows of the ETFs on Hong Kong, which will be very interesting. I'm finding if we have some metrics around that. But yeah, I really like it. I really like how everything is going. Let's have a look also at the alts. We've been saying, yeah, last week that the whole alt market is holding pretty well. Like if we have a look at the total tree, as Bitcoin was sort of dropping, we definitely had I really hold back in all the alts right here, that this is the whole market on alts. So it's actually holding pretty well at these levels. So that gives me more confidence in terms that this could definitely be a bottom. So as market develops and weekly candle closes, can we range here as well? Yes. Can we have a possibility of everything going down? Yes. Can we have a possibility of everything going up? Yes. But essentially, it's a higher possibility that this could actually regain at least to new highs. Let's have a look at Bitcoin dominance. And Bitcoin dominance actually start getting back on track again. Very bullish. Ethereum dominance lost a little bit of momentum. So our market as well, like the S&P 500, looking good as well. So everything is actually looking pretty good, man. Like I really like the way things are looking. Let's have a look at our positions quickly. And in terms of our positions actually still pretty good. This is Femex. This is going pretty okay. Pendle. So Pendle, yeah, recovered pretty well. And looking from the weekly perspective, by the way, guys. So look at this candle, and the recovery of this candle from the lows is actually roughly about 25%. And that issue, and this 25% actually happened in the last 2 days. So technically over the weekend, from Friday until today. So yeah, as you can see, this is one of the things in terms when we're looking at the market from the weekly perspective. Could get scary, but you never know how the candle is gonna end up. Can the candle gonna end up like lower? Definitely, but how the market reacts is how we actually see and analyze this from the weekly perspective. So still look very bullish. Everything looks pretty good. Solana from the weekly looks really strong. Let's have a look at the daily. So in terms of the daily, this is all our drawings from last week. So we did have 50% possibility on the range, which is still did never touch the lows of the initial dump that happened on the 13th of April. So it's still good. So Solana looks pretty strong, which, as I was saying that last week, there is a fight between Solana and Ethereum in terms of dominance. But I think both are going to keep going. It's a lot of stuff happening in Solana. So, but I'm keeping an eye on Solana in order to actually get into other positions. Solana has a lot of good things on the ecosystems as well that we can take advantage of. So yeah, Solana is still good from our positions. So still looking pretty healthy. INJ is getting up there, very well supported, but not really gaining much momentum. IMX looking good. CFX looking really good. Yeah. Phoenix looking pretty good. What I can see now is actually we start seeing a lot of strength on AI stuff. I'm gonna show you a few things on AI. Because in the last day, it was a bunch of winners on the AI sector. So we'll have a look. BNB, very strong. Very strong here. Phil getting up there. CeeLo getting out there as well. Ape, let's see, Ape is the only, yeah, Ape Insane is the only one that is sort of iffy. So we'll see if we can manage that position. EOS recovered really well. So from the daily perspective, broke above these new highs. So more than likely, we can expect that to the new highs as well. If the strength keeps going, right? Rune, pretty strong as well. Well, not as strong as I would like it to be. I would like to have this one recover above these levels in order to have continuation, but it's still a good project. Nia, pretty strong, very strong. I think this is one of the best positions. Nia and Ondo, I think, is the best positions that we did. We're going to talk about W as well. We entered on W last week. So Gal, yeah, getting up there. Let's talk about W. So W is the wormhole token. It's a little bit of a pullback today. So that's the weekly. Let's have a look at the weekly. This is the week. Sorry, daily. We cannot actually look this on the weekly because it's not a lot of history about this stuff. And this is like a really low cap coin. Weekly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Starting the 6th week. But we aiming with this low cap stuff like that is having the same sort of perspective of same thing that happened with Jupe, same thing will happen with Pyth. So more than likely on when everything gets a little bit of strength, this more than likely will be able to at least reach these new highs, or at least reach this high price right there, and then we'll go into price discovery. So that's our first aim, sort of in terms of W. I know some people were asking about what's the target and all that sort of stuff. So think about it from the target perspective that we don't have a target. This could keep going forever, right? Are we going to start managing positions when we might, but we go as we go, right? We go and assess the market as we go, because why are we going to, if we see that this is going straight around these levels, why would you take the position out? So this is one of the things about this type of coins, right, that we're aiming to gain. We might get, we might start getting like really, really good strength on this one, which I think from the project perspective, this could be pretty strong and on that regard. So still looking pretty good, healthy recovery, healthy retracement. So yeah, holding. I'm thinking of adding a little bit more around here, around these levels, around the 1. So obviously 150, all those levels are very psychological levels. So once it breaks above the 1, I might think about adding more. So yeah, keeping an eye on this one. So, but we already went in. I didn't want to miss it, and at those levels. So especially once we start getting full recovery on Ethereum, and yeah, this more than likely will continue on. Let's have a look at Whoop. Yeah, pretty good recovery. Scott was mentioning about this one over the weekend. Definitely you can see that he's forming a bottom channel, a bottom sort of structure, right? So you go, yeah, look at this here. So it sort of go like this, then like this, and then keeps going up, and then like this. You have the retracement. So it looks pretty okay from bottom perspective, and it's continue going up. So more than likely this point is okay. Perfect. So Ondo, pretty good. So, sorry. Things that I'm seeing in terms of Ondo actually is working pretty okay. This is one of our best positions with double, like we enter here and then we re-enter. We added more here. So more than likely Ondo is going to keep going. What gives me a lot of confidence in the RWA sort of narrative and all the RWA tokens. So I think it could be a really good rotation in terms of things that it could happen in this week. We can see some AI stuff happening. We can see Ondo getting pretty strong. With that being said, let's have a look at because that follows the same. Is recovering pretty well. So that gives me confidence that all the RWA ecosystem could actually start driving a little bit more. So we can see some rotation happening on this. So yeah, really like it. Let's have a look at Sui. Sui getting up there, losing a little bit of momentum, but still pretty bullish. Let's have a look at this on the weekly. So weekly pretty bullish. Obviously, we had a huge retracement last week, which if you guys had a look at my monthly video, we needed a retracement in a way. This is pretty healthy, and obviously I would be like we were saying in the last couple of weeks, this type of positions will be best off with no leverage because you don't know how far these things are going to go. So leverage is a different game. Can you start adding leverage? We might talk about it later on, but let's finish this thing. So kudos, yeah, pretty. Yeah, you can actually see that the momentum to the downside is losing. Is it's getting slower, slower, slower. So more than likely, we're gonna have retracement happening and all this stuff. So yeah, it's going well for our portfolio. Ina, Ina. Yeah, Ina's going still pretty good. Hopefully, Manuel can actually expand a little bit on Ina. He did a great video, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw the Ina video on, it's a lot of airdrops. It's a lot of interesting projects. Manuel is actually an expert. We've been doing airdrops for probably 5 years, and he's done pretty well. And yeah, he's understand that really, really well. I understand it to a level, to a basic level, put it that perspective. So I always rely on Manuel to help me out on that. So yeah, hopefully he can have a chat with us in the last for a few minutes and talk about Ina, Pendle, and just that overall stuff on why this could grow in value. So this is pretty, it's looking good. Like now you can actually see the momentum to the downside is getting very, very sluggish. So that's actually a pretty good thing. Let's have a look at daily. So daily holding that right there. I was saying, right, that we might touch listing price, which it did right here. So that wouldn't be a really great opportunity to buy if you guys didn't get into this one. So we already in here. So I wouldn't add that. I wouldn't add more into it. But this looks pretty strong, pretty solid so far in terms of, I know it looks bearish, but in terms of the project itself, you can actually see that this is stopping right here. So more than likely this is going to continue on. Still really liking it. Let's have a look at the majors. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum, yeah. Look at that level right there, man. Like, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 technically, right? On the daily that touched that level and came back. Really well supported. But still, I really like to see this over the 3,300. Just, yeah, around this. And we can gain really, really good momentum to the upside if that happens. Let's have a look at our spread position. Spread position was actually pretty good last week. Came back. Let's have a look at the weekly. Right. So it came back from our trend line, and let me just expand on it so you can actually see the full trend that I drew like probably a couple of weeks ago. And you can see it came back, came out. Let's see how this behaves. But I was seeing that Ethereum actually was gaining some momentum here, right? So it looks good. Obviously, like from the out perspective, it looks like Bitcoin is, once Bitcoin starts getting some momentum, everything's gonna follow through. So we'll see how it's gonna go. So yeah, I think that's it for our positions for today. Have you ever like, all right, I will go into some questions afterwards, but
Hey,
things that I'm
Mauricio.
looking, yep.
Awesome, man. Obviously, if you've got anything to finish up here, finish up. So, yeah, Manuel has joined us. I have a couple of
Awesome.
questions to the crowd before we introduce him and thank him for his time today. So, whenever you're ready to hand it over, dude, I'll pick it up.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, I was going to just see some stuff that I'm looking for this week. Let me so definitely looking for a airwave. I missed it completely on the 30 level. I wanted to actually get, I don't know if you guys saw my videos of the week. I missed it, one of those things. And still good, definitely still good. This is one of the strongest things on the AI sector that I'm looking into it. So I think this could actually drive quite a bit. I completely missed the 30 level, which I wanted to actually get in. And Arkham, really good. keeping an eye on Arrow. So this one is the base, sort of like the decks of base. So this one could be surprisingly good. So I'm still looking to enter in these positions and still looking into Jupe, still looking into all the stuff, but really keep an eye on token. So token, if the RWA narrative keeps getting stronger this week, I think this could be a massive increase in value. So I'm looking at those ones for this week, guys. So we'll keep you posted, and yeah, take it from there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. What I have for today, guys. So don't know if Manuel wants to jump in, or should we do some questions before Manuel, or should we? What do you reckon here?
Okay. Yeah, so let's just have a look at the timer on. So first question, I know I've been asking this in the chat and a bunch of people have answered, so thank you very much. We've got nearly 200 people on the call, so I'd like to see a few more emojis in the chat. Has everybody watched the Athena airdrops video in the group? So give us some kind of thumbs up or some kind of thumbs down. The people that have already answered, don't worry about repeating yourself from there. I told you to constantly have to do the task. Just want to get a general feel for who's aware of that video and who's not, because really we want this to be kind of a part 2 that Manuel does today, rather than the part 1. All right, so it seems kind of overwhelmingly there's more no's.
Yeah, it's a lot of no's, man. Yeah, it's a lot of no's. Yeah.
A few people on there. So let me see if I could take the screen from you. So I'll just
Oh, yep.
there we go. There we go. You should be seeing my screen now, and this is where the cat ripping up the mouse mat. How hilarious is that? That makes moving the mouse doing anything a total swine. Okay. So if you're in the 100x group, then okay, you can always use the search function and it's an absolute winner. So if you just put like airdrop in, then this post is kind of clearly marked from like 4 days ago. And Manuel has also been in the comments as well, answering people. So I think perhaps for today, because we really want this to be a part 2, okay? So I'll pop the link into the chat so that members know exactly how to get to that post. And then I'll introduce Manuel, and I haven't had a chance to chat with you yet. So I mean, it's really great to meet you, dude. And thanks so much for giving your time today. And perhaps you could give us just a high level overview of what's in the video. And then after that, just there'll be questions about airdrops or anything that you want to chat with about airdrops. We'll just give you the space until you've had enough, dude, and then
Okay, hi, Ian. Nice to meet you finally. Thank you for having me. So yeah, I'm happy to be here, part of this community, and happy to share some knowledge about airdrops.
Nice. So the initial Athena video then, if you could just give people just a high level overview of the video that you put in there, and then we'll see if any more questions come in.
Yeah, so pretty much the video I was explaining how INA works, and how to get involved in the season 2 airdrop, which is their second airdrop that they're doing. So pretty much I explained how to get involved, how you can participate, how the airdrops work, and I explained some different alternatives that you can use to optimize your airdrop. And yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Nice. So maybe we could go right from the start then. So like what is an airdrop and why is somebody giving me free money? And all I hear is that I just get scammed. Do I find these? How do I stay safe? Like, is this just an NFT with a monkey?
Yeah.
But by the way, I just want to highlight that Manuel, he's been like doing airdrops for a while. And airdrops is a dangerous thing, guys. Like, it's a lot of different things out there. Yes, it's a lot of scams and stuff like that, but I just want to highlight that he's done really, really well financially doing airdrops. That's all he does. So I think his expertise is great. So yeah, what's an airdrop, man? Like, what should we care?
Yeah, so first, in terms of safety and how not to get a scam, I think like everything in crypto, you need to do your own research before you trade or do anything. So the first thing I do is do my research in terms of the project. What is the project? Is it a real project? Do they have like real backers behind the project? So it's something that I really look into. I never open links that I see on the internet. I always go and search for the link on their um, Twitter website, or never like open links that you get sent in Discord or Telegram. So that's a way to be safe. So what is an airdrop? There's different ways that you can get involved into airdrops. There are liquidity airdrops. Basically, you provide liquidity to a new project, and they reward you with tokens when they launch their token. There's free airdrops that you can just qualify just by being in their Discord, having some social media exposure to the group, doing some quests that they do. So those are like just quests that they do that you have tasks and you have to follow those tasks. So there's so many ways right now to do airdrops. It depends of the project, depends how the funding is, how they want to increase awareness of the project. But pretty much, if we talk about INA, for example, INA is a liquidity project. So the way you get involved in the airdrop is by providing liquidity, either by buying INA or by holding USDE, which is their stable coin.
So
I don't know.
no, that's great, man. So in terms of INA, let's why these companies create these airdrops, and why is, like, you know what I mean? Why they give you free money? Like, what's their take? Why?
Yeah, I think it's a great way for them to increase their value. So they raise money around 2-3 million. They create a campaign for airdrops. Then they receive a bunch of liquidity, 10 million, 100 million. Then they raise their valuation at 1.2 billion. So that's pretty much what they do. They increase the valuation, they get users, they get liquidity, and that's how they launch their token, and they get a lot of liquidity. So that's how they grow their projects now. That's the best way to grow for a company right now. And that's why every new project is doing airdrops.
Is there any shortcuts? Is there any shortcuts that I can take with the research process? Any websites I can go to, say, and put my wallet address in and see if I've already qualified for some, or how can I find new stuff?
So there's actually Etherscan, for example. They launched a new feature that is called cards. So if you go to Etherscan, if you can search your wallet, just copy your wallet address and you paste it, and there is a way that you can just see in the wallet if you have any unclaimed airdrops. There's other pages that you can just that are pretty safe. You don't have to connect your wallet. You just paste your wallet address, so it's pretty safe. And you can see if you have any airdrops that you might qualify or you didn't miss. I have a bunch of like a document where I have all of that information. I'm happy to share that in the group. So if anyone is interested.
That is awesome. Thank you. We'll add that into the article. So I suppose throw them to Maurizio and we'll take care of that. Nice one. Nice one. Okay. Is there any more questions coming through?
Is Timothy asking, if you already have INA, can you get the airdrop? Can you get an airdrop? So yeah, I'll let you explain that, but I think Emmanuel went through everything in terms of the video, right? Is that correct, Manuel? Like,
yeah.
So
just pretty much if you have INA, the only way you can qualify for the airdrop if you stake your INA on their website. So that's the only way you can qualify for their airdrop. In the video, I explain how you can stake your INA, and that's pretty much it. That's all you need to do. So it makes sense if you're planning to hold INA for a while, might just stake it and qualify for some potential
So
airdrops.
let me expand a little bit of that, because obviously we are we are with a position on the 100x club, and that could be a really good idea to stake that position if you guys want. However, you have to understand where you buy that INA from. So if you buy INA from the exchange, you cannot actually stake it. So what you need to do, for instance, let's say you buy from an exchange, from Bybit or Coinbase or whatever, you need to technically export your INA, your asset. Remember that crypto is an asset, right? So you bought INA, you take that INA and you need to put it into a wallet, usually MetaMask. And please correct me if I'm wrong, Manuel, on this one,
Yep.
on this process, right? And once you have it in MetaMask, right, then you have your INA, and then you need to connect your MetaMask with the Athena website, right, which is the project itself. And then you stake it. Essentially, you're allowing them, like you're locking that INA right there for them to have liquidity. That's the whole purpose of that. Because you're doing that, they're going to provide you with some rewards. What's the reward? Essentially points, right? So the process that INA is doing, INA with Athena is actually doing the airdrops, is as you stake your assets, it could be INA, or as Manuel explained in the video, you can actually do it with USDC as well. Then they will give you points, okay? And those points will translate into what they call INA sats, right? And then those sats, at some point, when they release the airdrop, they're going to become INAs, like real INAs, that you can actually go back and sell back into the market. So that's the whole sort of ecosystem of how you actually get your airdrop done. Is that, on a nutshell, Manuel, is that how the whole process works, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I see some
Awesome.
people are mentioning that they have staked their INA on Coinbase or other crypto exchanges. So that would not qualify you for the airdrop. So as Mauricio was saying, it would only qualify you if you stake the INA on their website. I see someone has Bybit. Bybit has their Web3 wallet, so you could stake with the Web3 wallet that Bybit has. And they actually have a partnership with Bybit, Binance, and I think Ox Exchange, that if you stake with them, you get a 20% boost on the points that you get when you stake their tokens. So that's something that you might want to keep in mind as well.
That's cool. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So how can people get more points, like if they stake INA, or what's the, what's the whole catch in terms of, first of all, let's talk security. Is it safe to stake INAs with their website?
The website is pretty safe. Yeah, the only issue that you might want is if you want to withdraw your tokens, you need to wait for 7 days. So that's the only risk that you have. If you want to sell at a certain price, you might need to wait. But the website is pretty safe. There's a lot of people staking like millions there, so they have a lot of security process. So yeah, it's pretty safe. There's other ways that you can get involved if you don't want to stake on their website. You can do it on Pendle, which is a liquidity provider for DeFi protocols. And then you can use Pendle to get more points. I explain a little bit on the video as well, but I can go in more detail in another video, or if anyone wants to learn a little bit more about Pendle, which is pretty complex and they keep growing, so they keep adding more features. But I'll try to make it simple for everyone to understand.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, as you can, guys, as you can see, this is, it's airdrops is a different kettle of fish. Like, it's a different thing. So obviously you're gonna have a lot of airdrops staking. What are the risk? Obviously, as Manuel mentioned, one of the risks is obviously if you have INA staked and then you need to sell it, you need to unstake it before you sell it. You need to actually ask for your money back, and that takes 7 days, right? If it is a market drop within the 7 days, then the INA is going to lose in value, right? So that's kind of one of their old, like, what that's an innate risk in staking in itself, right? So obviously it depends of, long term, short term, stuff like that. Money portfolio management, how much money you put, how much stake, how much money are you going to invest in this thing? So keep that in mind as well in terms of risks. Okay, so yeah.
I think
But
another
yeah,
thing is, like, if you're going to stake something, right, then you're going to commit your funds for a period of time, right? So you have to have an inherent belief that the asset is going to continue to go up in value. So
Exactly.
it's like, if you believe in Bitcoin, if you absolutely believe in Bitcoin, then you just keep buying it and you keep staking it, because you've got no intention of selling that Bitcoin whatsoever. And that has to be true, like, with these airdrops as well. Like, if you're going to put money into Athena, then you have to have the inherent belief that it's going to increase in value. How do you get that inherent belief? Well, you do the research. How do you do the research? If you've never done research before, well, you start at X or Twitter. You look for the verified account. Then from the verified account, you find the website. You go to the website. You start looking at who the people are behind the project. Where can you find them? So the research, or the DYOR, do your own research, that's how you get the belief in the project to invest in it. So something like Woo, if you ask Scott what he thinks about Woo, he can give you the price action, but then he can also tell you who the CEO is of Woo, and he can tell you what job they had before, and if they've done something similar before. He can tell you who the finance people are with Woo. He can give you all of the projections with it. So that's another thing with, like, we really believe that, like, if you listen to Scott, right, he'll tell you that Athena is a Ponzi, and he'll tell you that he loves Ponzi schemes because they whoosh until they blow up.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is what happens in crypto. Now, that's the broadest definition of the mechanism of what Athena are doing here. Anybody that's on the call with Scott when he explained about the USDE and they're making a run at these stable coins. So something like this Athena, or with anything, you have to go into it with those eyes open. Or you listen to an expert like we've got on the call today, and you're like, right, okay, then I've got my first step. There's some dude here that's putting his own money into this, who's already done the research and does this for a living. Great, I've got my first step. Right. What happens when the price of Athena goes down and I'm not making the money? I think, all that kind of short-term, kind of near-sight volatility, that will disappear. The more that you research, the more that you understand, the deeper that you get. Now, we're very lucky that we got Manuel, who's been extremely generous with his time. So anybody that's listening live, or anybody that's watching the replay, the Athena airdrop post will be in the start here section. It'll be pinned at the bottom. You want to go there and you want to ask your questions and get deeper into it. And then the more that we see, and if people want Pendle explained, then we can be, Manuel, have you got time? Would you mind? You're pretty awesome, man. And then we can, we can learn a lot more about airdrops. Okay, so we'll let the people do the talking there. So not to hurry you to a finish, but if we wanted to wrap up in the next few minutes on the airdrop, Maurizio, would you then be okay just to take a few coin requests?
Yeah, sure.
And then we can finish on the hour. So we've got about 12 minutes left. So I'll thank you one more time, Manuel, and anything you want to finish with, and then we'll get going with Maurizio.
No, Ian, thank you. No, I just want to say, if For example, if people are not really bullish on INA, there's so many other opportunities for airdrops. There's plenty of coins, plenty of projects that are coming up in the next months, plenty of airdrops opportunities. So yeah, I'm happy to share all of them. I have done actually last week a couple 3 airdrops that are in Solana that are gonna be huge as well. So happy to share that as well. And yeah.
Nice. I'm going to
Thanks
the
a lot,
article.
man. Yeah, thanks a lot, man.
The article right now. Give us more.
And I think, and just to finish with thanks, mate. Thanks, Manuel. Thanks for being here. And I've learned a lot from you, mate. Really a lot. And something that I've seen with airdrops just before we wrap it up is that this is how new crypto stuff is getting built. Like, oh, this is like the new way that they get liquidity. This is the new way that they get volume. This is the way that they start capitalizing. This is the new way that they get people. So I think it's a really good aspect to follow it in terms of how the market develops. So and with the knowledge of this guy, I think he's gonna drop a lot of bombs in the group. So thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mara.
All right, so let's have a look. So we have some. All right, so thank you. Have a cash, HBAR, ICP, GRT. All right, let's have a look at those ones. Give me 1 second, and let me share my screen. All right, so we have, where are they? Where'd they go? Where's the request? All the messages disappear. So I have a cache. There you go. A cache. I haven't heard of it, that one. Let's have a look. Cache USDT. AKT. Okay. Wow, it looks pretty. In terms of structure, it looks pretty strong. This candle right here, I'm not really a fan of it. You can actually see that it was a sort of like a pump, and people that actually were around here tried to get out. No, they actually got out more than likely. So yeah, the only thing that I don't like about this sort of technicals is huge drop right here from the highs. So it's not very consistent from that regard. I will have to look a little bit more into the project, have some research. It looks good, looks very bullish, but this is the only thing that I don't like. HBAR. I was looking at HBAR, and yeah, HBAR was quite interesting last week, right after what happened. You know, they released the news about they were going to start developing an RWA sort of platform with in partnership with BlackRock, and that was a completely sort of nonsense. In a way, they mislead people and stuff like that. You get the jump, and now people are on the sidelines. So I wouldn't go into HBAR just yet until that settles, until some new catalyst, you know, they release it, the RWA or whatever, who knows. But yeah, don't like this much. From the weeklies, definitely, as you can see, I drew this line a while back and just completely returned out of this one. So yeah, no, not happy with that one. ICP. Let's have a look at ICP. Let me have a look. All right, ICP looks pretty strong. It's holding up pretty strong from the weekly. So looks good though. Looks good. ICP is gaining momentum right from December last year, and it's not that bad. It looks pretty strong. It's pretty bullish. Definitely looks very similar as everything else, right? But yeah, I don't know if you're already in on ICP or not. Out of the ones that you say GRT. GRT is my favorite one because it's part of the AI sort of infrastructure. I wanted to get into this one. I didn't do it on the drop off, but it looks pretty strong. Definitely this could continue on. So yeah, I really like that one. Is any other one that you guys want me to have a look?
He's asking about the last trade alert, Maurizio, the W. See, can you just about W and
yeah, let's have a look at W. Give me 1 second. All right, so W. Yeah, and what exactly is the question? We already went through this one a little bit this morning, but what is exactly the question about W?
So I think the exact question is, give me your exact step-by-step process from the inception of hearing about this coin to what gave you the signals in which to purchase this coin. So I think some kind of version of that.
Cool. Nutshell. First of all, W is an airdrop coin. Okay, so it was an airdrop coin that had the W is the wormhole project. It's a developed Web3 developing sort of platform, which looks pretty good. So W was actually an airdrop. People that actually went into the way that Manuel will explain, like really early airdrops, that's how they actually get these tokens. You need to go and do a bunch of tasks, a bunch of stuff in the community, stay here and there, do transactions, do whatever, do a development, do work, do whatever. And then after that, they release the token in a way, and there's an airdrop, right? So people get these airdrops, and usually the first behavior around airdrops is that they sell, right? Because you get something for free, what would you do? Would you keep it? Would you save it? You know what I mean? Like a lot of the people that get airdrops, they sell. Or sell a little bit. Therefore, the behavior of these new tokens that get airdrop are like that. 1 week ago, I also mentioned about Tensor and PRCL. These tokens are these ones were also airdrops that they were released on the exchange. So once you have that, I start keeping an eye on it. Keeping an eye on the project, keeping an eye on the development, keeping an eye on the potentials. This is obviously you look at the technicals, but it's not much stuff that you can look at the technicals, to be honest. This is just a brand new stuff, right? But you look for the behavior of things that happened in the past. What happened in the past that was very similar? Jupe. So if we look at Jupe, for instance, where is it? Jupe, which still like it, but if you have a look at Jupe was a similar behavior. Where is it? Just put it here. So Jupe. All right, so Jupe was an airdrop coin. Look at the behavior from this, okay? And I just want to expand this. So Jupe, same deal, got listed here, was an airdrop. Now, it goes to a point that people stop selling, right? So when people start selling, it's sort of finding the bottom for new buyers to come in. And that is going to give you the push. I don't know if this project is going to be long term or not. The only thing that I will know is that there is a highly likelihood that this project will increase in value in the near medium term. Okay. And what I know is that usually it reaches the listing price and it reaches the highest high that coin went to. Okay. After that, it depends on the project. It depends on what they're doing. It depends on what, the marketing depends into a bunch of stuff. So that's the whole, in a nutshell, why I went into W, right? And if you can see the same behavior with PITH, USDT, right? Same deal. This one was a little bit different because people didn't sell much on this one, okay? And it was a restriction on selling, I believe, on this one. That's why you don't see the huge drop, but same scenario, right? Risky, of course. That's why we didn't go full position on that one yet, and especially the we didn't have the strength on Ethereum and Bitcoin to actually go fully. If Ethereum was actually on that more than 3,500, I would be with a bigger position. So that's my thinking around that. So yeah, I hope that clarifies your question. And so yeah,
That's awesome, Maurizio, and I think that's a great way just to bring the call to a close.
sure. No, perfect.
So thanks, everybody. That was a really great call. And thanks again to Manuel. And let's show our appreciation of Manuel by commenting on the post in the group. And then that dude will give us more and more helpful information, profitable information about airdrops.
Beautiful.
Nice one.
Yeah.
Everybody. See you
Thanks,
later.
guys.